in high definition.
In the 2008 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series season, and the biggest, boldest, and baddest racing series has made a stop in Barrie, Ontario, where being big, bold, and bad is second nature.
It's a two-roof speed fest here at the Highline. Racing expressions like arrow push and gentleman racing are not in the vocabulary. At Barrie, it's like the walls narrow down and grab you. Winning here is a major feat, a case of survival. One wrong move and your night could be over, while many right moves could engrave your name in history. So the race is on for the 2008 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series Championship, presented by Sirius Satellite Radio. We're at the 1/3 mile oval of Barrie Speedway as TSN presents the Pizza 300. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a highly anticipated race here at Barrie Speedway. I'm Dave Bradley. Alongside me is Billy Rouse Jr. and Todd Lewis is trackside. Billy, we've talked about it all season long, the dominance of Scott Steckley. He's led the Castro Points chase since the drop of the green flag this season. He has had 8 top 5 finishes, but his near-immortal status is starting to be challenged.
Well, he's been the car to beat all year. They've had great horsepower. The crew chiefs had that car handling better than anybody else's car here, but the motor failed him in Mosport. That hurt a little bit in the chase. Last week, he got in an altercation, went down through the grass, knocked the oil pump belt off it. That one really hurt. So he's come back in the points a little bit, and the rest of the boys are hungry to see just how well that 22 car is going to finish the year, and I'm betting it's going to finish strong.
Absolutely. One of those drivers looking to take advantage, and has so far, is the 27 of Andrew Ranger. He finished second at Cougar. That bumps him up to second in the Castro Points chase. And with 3 races to go here in the 2008 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, it's go time, as Billy likes to say. And with more on today's feature event, let's throw it down to Todd Lewis. Todd?
Fellas, we all know that Barrie Speedway is a battleground where these walls will come into play. It's a tight 1/3 mile bull ring, and you want to qualify up front. Quickest qualifier was perennial fast guy Don Thompson Jr., who scored his 6th pole position of the season, a track time of 14.066 seconds around Barrie Speedway to set a new record. DJ Kennington in the Castrol Dodge qualifies in the 6th spot. A couple of wins here last year, on the podium earlier this season. Tell me about surviving 300 laps at Barrie.
It's probably one of the toughest plays you'll ever try to survive 300 laps. It's all about keeping the fenders on it and trying to save something for the end of the race. 300 laps doesn't take very long here, but it's a long time. So we're going to try to keep the fenders on the Castrol Dodge and hopefully try to get another podium out of this thing tonight. It's been an up and down season, but we're still in the battle, and we're going to try to get this thing looked after.
DJ Kennington in the battle, so is Andrew Ranger. Both have gained ground on points leader Scott Steckley. They'll be looking to do the same. These two will also be traveling back to Richmond for the nationwide race that was rained out last night. They got to travel back and will be hustling. Other team that's hustling, fellas, is the number 77 of Derek Lynch. They discovered their radiator is leaky. They're trying to get that repaired before the start of the green, which will happen when we come back to Barrie Speedway.
The Pizza 300 from Barrie Speedway is brought to you by Castrol. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering. By Dodge. Grab life by the horns. And by Allied Steel Buildings, the leading, most trusted brand of steel building. The field is all set to go here at the Highline as the Dodge Caliber SRT4 pace car gets things underway. Let's take a look at tonight's Dupla-Color starting grid. On pole, Don Thompson Jr., the 6th time he's sat in the number 1 position to start a race this year. Dave Whitlock outside front row. Mark Dilley, his teammate, inside of row 2, and then Scott Steckley, your points leader, will start 4th. Kerry Mix in the 02 and DJ Kennington in the 17 make up row number 3. Then Ron Beauchamp Jr. in the 16. Brad Graham in the 19 are in row number 4. Taking a look at row number 5 is Jeff Lapsevich in the 25, and Pete Shepard drives the 7 once again here today. Derek Lynch is in the 77. Joey McComb in the 49. They make up row number 6. And then row number 7 has Doug Brown in the 10 and Kent Noon in the 18. Row number 8, J.R. Fitzpatrick, way back starting spot here today in the 84, and Peter Gibbons in the 1 car. And row number 9 has John Gaunt, Andrew Ranger driving the 27. And the final row, the 3 car, Jason Hathaway in the 95, Rookie of the Year contender, Anthony Simone. 2 drivers not with us today. Alex Tagliani, who's once again joined the IRL for a race in Chicago. Pete Shepard replaces him once again, and Jason White at home in BC with his wife, who just gave birth to a new baby boy named Ryder.
Congratulations to Jason and his wife. Let's take a look at the Allied Steel Buildings race analysis here tonight. It's 300 laps in this tight little bull ring. As you see, it's 23 degrees, and we practice in the sun, and we're going racing in the dark. The chassis setup will change.
As we take a look at the onboard shot from Peter Gibbons with more on tonight's race, here's Todd Lewis.
A couple of quick updates before we go green, fellas. The 25 normally driven by Jim Lapsovich. Well, it's his brother Jeff, who we've seen before behind the wheel for this one here at Barrie. And also the number 49, Joey McComb, is back behind the wheel. We've seen John Fletcher in the car. He is with the team. In fact, he's working and coaching Joey McComb. They're hoping for a better result in that number 49 team for this race.
And Joey McComb cut his racing teeth here at Barrie Speedway in the late model division as you take a look at 6 of the onboard views that you'll see tonight. A great way of seeing the Pizza 300 here at Barrie Speedway. And Patrick O'Doherty from Pizza has the green flag in hand as the cars come out of corner 4 and waves, and we're underway here at Barrie Speedway.
Don Thompson Jr. got a great start, but you got to think he's pretty cautious on that start, given the circumstances back at Cayuga Speedway, where he was penalized for jumping the initial start.
Mark Dilley up to second spot as the 39 of Dave Whitlock bangs together with the 02 of Kerry Miggs. And now Whitlock will take third, but here comes a tow truck in a box 22 of Scott Steckley up on the outside of the BDI 02.
Down into turn 3. Wow, look at that 22 go around the outside. As we talked about in the opening, crew chief and driver got the communication down pat, and that car is on a rail.
Notoriously, the outside lane here at Barrie Speedway, of course, it's referred to as the high line. Some of the drivers seem to prefer that outside groove. As the cars work in, the bottom gets jammed up. Some are thinking the outside groove may be the way to get around here tonight.
Well, I watched some drivers in practice, and they were giving that bottom totally away in turn 3, trying to get the momentum off of. Oh, Mixie's around on the 02 coming off of turn 4.
And Mix spins to the inside, down to the exit of pit lane. He grabs the gear and gets going, no caution.
Boy, he just missed that NASCAR official standing on the end of pit road there. Very close, no caution. Mixie will have to hustle. Let's have a look at the replay. Down into turn 3, too much rear brake obvious in the car. It snaps around, he stays in the gas.
And that NASCAR official is Janelle McGloshin, who quickly got out of the way of the spinning 02 of Kerry Mix, who was all the way up in 4th spot. Now he's back into 19th in a battle with the 49 of Joey McComb.
Well, take a look at that 02 car for the rest of the night. The best show on the racetrack we watch, and Ironman Kerry Mix work his way back to the front.
Riding on board with the Dickies Dodge of Dave Whitlock, having a good run the early going here in the Pizza 300. Now we'll look back to the 25 of Jeff Lapsovich as he tries to get underneath the Mopar Dodge of Ron Beauchamp. That's a battle for 7th position.
Man, things are getting tight there. The 19 full throttle energy drink car just a little bit slower than Beauchamp, and Beauchamp's chomping at the bit wanting to get it by.
Another track is this Barrie Speedway Tri-Oval that some drivers absolutely love and some drivers absolutely hate, as J.R. Fitzpatrick gets a little nudge coming out of corner number 2. There's hometown favorite John Gaunt in the 12, and that's for 17th position. But Brad Graham, one of the drivers that truly dislikes this racetrack despite having some success in the lower ranks.
Well, I've seen Brad win here in the Sportsman Series and done really well, but he's just not comfortable with the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series car here.
Did come off a top 5, though, in the AW 300 in the earlier race this year as we ride on board with your leader, Don Thompson Jr., the Home Hardware Chevy Monte Carlo. There's the gap back to second to Mark Dilley in the number 9 Dodge.
Well, you see the difference in the right front rotor on the 9 car versus the 4. Don Thompson Jr. is starting to glow with the front rotors.
On board with Mark Dilley, who used to teach the Barrie Speedway driving experience here at the Speedway in a Thunder car, race-prepared Thunder car. He figures he's put about 3,500 students through that course, so he definitely knows how to get around here. On board with Dave Whitlock, 6th, 3rd. There's the battle back, 4th and 5th. DJ Kennington and Scott Steckley. Steckley gets a great run out of corner number 2. And you see how that car hooked coming out of the 2.
Wow, watch. Oh, we got the 27 Ranger around backwards, and that's the 18 of Kent Noon around as well.
So caution flies for the first time here as Kent Noon gets things going once again. So does the Walmart Tide Ford Fusion of Andrew Ranger. We'll get another chance to see it on board with J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Well, down into turn 1 and 2. Whoa! The 27 just pile drives the 18.
Some debris down on the speedway. Looks like it's a hood. Jason Hathaway's down pit lane. Todd?
Jason Hathaway, the number 3 Snap-on Tools Dodge along pit road. It's a problem with water coming out from underneath. They're having a look. They're trying to cool that engine down and get Jason back out into the battle. We'll have more of the Pizza 300 from Barrie Speedway in just a moment.
Welcome back to round 11 of the 2008 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. We're at Barrie Speedway for the Pizza 300. The Dodge Caliber SRT4 pace car off the track. Don Thompson's number 4 Home Hardware Monte Carlo leads the way for the first restart of the night here on lap 29.
Mark Dilley got up through the gearbox real well, but Don Thompson Jr. beats him down the backstretch to take over the second position. Look at DJ Kennington out the outside. We watched DJ at Cuba Speedway run that high line all night long, but he wore the right rear off it.
And he ran quite a bit in the high lane here in the early going. He did settle down into single file, but he's trying to battle with that Dickey's Dodge of Dave Whitlock. They're side by side once again in through 1 and 2, still chasing the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. and the number 9 on Mark Dilley.
Listen to that Dodge horsepower. And you know what? I got to say something about this. Dave Whitlock's been riding a roller coaster up and down all year long, and it's good to see that Dickey's Dodge running up front.
And here comes the tow truck in a box. Number 22, your points leader, Scott Steckley, quietly moving up inside the top 5, now sitting 4th as we ride on board with the number 1 of Peter Gibbons.
Now there's a veteran on the gas pedal. You hear Peter just feathering the throttle, keeping the car straight, not slipping the rear tires to get maximum drive up off the corner.
And a veteran, too, bringing one of the older cars from the Gibbons Racing stable. Kind of a Barrie sacrifice here.
We used to call this race between this and Peterborough the Fiberglass 150. Peter's no dummy. He can drive any race car anytime. Peter Gibbons is an ultimate race car driver.
How about the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick? We mentioned at the top how poorly he qualified for his own standards. Now he's got his work cut out for him as he tries to come up through the field. Graham's getting racy, though, on the full throttle. Energy drink Dodge Avenger Crossways off a 2. And underneath the 39 of Dave Whitlock.
Well, they'll get Dave Whitlock up in that high groove. Not the preferred way around here unless you've got your car set up for it. Whitlock sliding back.
Dave Whitlock starting to slide back on the high side, was running well inside the top 5 for quite a while here. Nearly the first 50 laps of this race, and he's given up 2, 3, 4 spots in just a matter of a couple laps.
Well, maybe I jinxed him a little bit saying what a great night he's having because he's been on a roller coaster. But the other thing that comes up, Dave Whitlock is a veteran, knows how to win these long-distance events. He'll just be staying out of trouble waiting for the first pit stop.
50 laps in the books here of the Pizza 300. As you take a look, Scott Steckley has caught this lead duel and is now on the back bumper of Mark Dilley in the Dodge Avenger, the number 9. And we've got smoke down the front straightaway, and it's the Interstate Batteries, number 18 of Ken Newton, as the caution flag flies, and it looks like his night might be done.
Well, you see the red light on the dash. That motor is not running, and a lot of smoke. Look at the fluid coming out from underneath that. Definitely a motor failure.
And on the track, look, the 27 of Andrew Ranger, last year's champion, is going a lap down to the leader. Don Thompson Jr. tucks underneath that Ford Fusion and will put Andrew Ranger 1 lap down.
Wow, this will have points implications for sure. We got the 22 of Steckley running up front, DJ's in the top 10, and the 27 just went a lap down.
You can see the 95 ahead of the 4 car, as well as the 49 of Joey McComb, as those drivers now really have to get on their horse. No doubt their spotters telling them it is go time, but as we mentioned, the troubles continue with the 27 of Andrew Ranger. He looked really good in practice, didn't have a great qualifying effort, and now he's off to a pretty rough start here in the Pizza 300 with more on Andrew Ranger's troubles. Let's throw it down to Todd.
The car is a handful right now, guys, for Andrew Ranger, that number 27. With all the contact here at Barrie, the toe is knocked out, so he's got his hands full just fighting to make his way through the turns. It's not the first time it's happened, and I'm sure it won't be the last time it happens to a competitor before this night is out.
Well, Barrie Speed, whoa, we got caution on the Speedway.
Caution for debris as the Wheel and Engineering safety crew will be called to action here. There is a piece of fiberglass, a packed house here at Barrie Speedway, and in for a great night of racing. Always action-packed as a 300-lap event here at this tight tri-oval.
Well, side by side off of turn 4. These are exciting restarts. Cautions breed cautions. Down the stretch, up and through the gearbox, and once more, the 9 of Dilly right there with Don Thompson Jr.
And during that quickie caution, Anthony Simone received the tow truck in a box free pass, so he is back on the lead lap, and Don Thompson Jr. back to the front of the field.
Oh, what a surprise. Look at the inside of the second row. Oh, that's Scott Steckley. What a surprise. The 22 car heading for the front.
It seems to be a broken record all season long. We've been talking about that tow truck in a box number 22. Great speed shot from the Duplicolor wall cam as the field heads by. Doesn't take long to do a lap here at Barrie Speedway.
Whoa, the Dougie Brown and Peter Gibbons get together down the backstretch.
And Brown was having a great run. He was up in 7th spot, but now falling well off the pace. You see the entire field going around. There's something wrong in the front end. You see the front end of that car hopping around.
It was shaking and wobbling there. Maybe a flat tire, the toe knocked out. Something definitely happened. But look up front. That 4 car, he's under a barrage of attack from the 22 of Scott Steckley.
The 17 of DJ Kennington still trying to make that outside line work. On the outside of the 60 car, Ron Beauchamp Jr. And now he falls into single file behind the 9 of Mark Dilly, and Steckley mounting a charge. He's working on the 4 car of Don Thompson Jr. One car's had trouble since the drop of the green is the 3 car of Jason Hathaway. Todd standing by where the 3 team still trying to cool down that motor. Todd?
That's the old Raider for the number 3 Snap-on Tools Dodge that Jason Hathaway has just fired up. They made the change to get him back out into the battle. He's many laps down, but we'll see a lot more attrition before this race is over, guys. Jason's going to try to pick up as many points as possible.
And Jason now in 19th, 26 laps down, but Kent Newton, if you remember with those motor troubles, is done. So Jason Hathaway hoping for a little bit more of where that came from.
Well, big picture racing, you got to get all the points you can. Take a look at the number 7 on the way by. He's got no hood and no right front fender, and he's still 7th position.
You see how close they come to that inside wall coming off of corner number 4. Billy, do you aim for that in the middle of 3 and 4?
Not really. As a race car driver, you're looking out the bottom side of the left of the windshield there. You really don't even look at it because you're trying to exit the corner to see the exit apex, not the inside apex coming out the corner.
Now you make a mistake in corner number 4. That exit apex is the turn 4 wall.
Yeah, you hear this thump. Oh, whoops.
Well, Don Thompson Jr. definitely has some company in Scott Steckley. As we ride with the 4th place car, DJ Kennington. The 17 staying in front of the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. now at the front windshield of Beauchamp.
Caution on the racetrack.
Once again, the yellow flag flies, and it's for some debris down the back straightaway. The hood off the 49 of Joey McComb, and there is the 10 team, Doug Brown's team, looking in the right front. The hood is up, and the 02 Kerry Mix is in pit lane. Tots there.
Left side service for the 02 car of Kerry Mix. Beyond Digital Limiting Torch, having routine service so far with 2 tires and fuel. He could go the rest of the way on fuel, but guys, he'll be back again for right side rubber later.
And the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series officials making sure everything gets tightened up on the 02. Don Thompson Jr. continues to lead 104 laps down. Don Thompson Jr. gets ready to pedal his home hardware Monte Carlo for the 5th restart of the Pizza 300 here at Barrie Speedway as we work lap 108.
Oh, hear him up through the gearbox one more time. Everybody's tried the outside of that 4 car and not gotten the job done, and the 22, no different.
Scott Steckley trying to battle on the high side. He's able to get up to the passenger side door of the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. But that home hardware Chevy Monte Carlo just too strong off of corner number 4. Now Steckley will drop into 2nd.
Well, Don Thompson Jr., he knows what it takes to win on these short tracks. Now watch the line he takes. Right down the middle of the racetrack, giving Steckley no quarter.
Steckley taking a look, though, in corner number 1. And Thompson slides up the hill, coming out of 2. It's a drag race down the back straightaway.
Boy, just like Dave Whitlock, I give him a compliment how well he's running. He slips up. Don Thompson Jr. running a great race, slides up the corner and gives the 22 the opening.
And that's all the opening. The 22 of Scott Steckley will lead. Need will have a new leader here at Barrie Speedway. The 22, Scott Steckley, your points leader, will pick up those all-important 5 bonus points in the Castrol points chase.
Wow, see that puff of smoke going in there? What that probably was is he was hard on the brakes going in, the nose of the car come down, some loose rubber, melted off, no big deal.
Sixth spot up for grabs here with the 1 of Peter Gibbons battling with the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick as we ride on board with Fitzpatrick. Don't forget, he's got a Truck Series test coming up at the end of September. So big news for the young career of J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Very deserving. The young fella can drive a race car. If he goes down there with an open mind, just goes through the program, he should get a shot at it.
Derek Lynch currently running in the 9th position. Changed to radiator before this race, so had to drop right to the tail of the field. Started all the way back into 20th, but he's working his way forward.
Well, Derek Lynch, another one of those guys that's used to running small racetracks, long-distance races, and does a real good job. Weekly, that car comes home without a mark on it.
You're not on the gas for very long here, are you?
No, when you're these short tracks, but by the time you get the car straight, you're full throttle, and by the time you're only straight for 7 or 8 car lengths, you're back off it, floating it on into the corner.
Look at how quick Scott Steckley is. He's able to open up about a 10 car length gap. Now back to the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. as Thompson has fallen back into the clutches of the 9 of Mark Dilley.
Oh, take a look here. We got a lot of racing going on here, but Mark Dilley, he's really trying to put the pressure on the 4, hoping to duplicate what the 22 has done.
DJ Kennington running in the 4th position. Good run for the Mopar 60 team of Ron Beauchamp Jr. Early on, they seem to have things figured out here, Barrie.
He's got the right front brake blowing quite a bit as well, but he's back in the grass of number 1 of Peter Gibbons.
And we've got a car slow on the front straightaway. Crown Modular number 95 of Anthony Simoni. A flat right front tire. The caution finally comes out for the 6th time this evening. Looks like he may have gone into the wall.
Well, there's a lot of concrete dust in that right front wheel. It's right down, dragging on the sway bar. If he's careful, he won't rub the Heim joint off it.
And it looks like this will be a good opportunity for pit stops. Don standing by.
Wholesale pit stops for the leaders here, guys. The 22 car of Scott Steckley, the first to hit his marks. A little bit of trouble for DJ Kennington, the number 17 Castrol Dodge with that left rear. Left sides for him as well.
Mark Dilley down and away with a good stop. Peter Gibbons a little slow on the left front there. And now he is down and away.
Well, Peter will be having a conversation with his crew chief on the radio about that. He came in, lost a couple spots, but he'll get him back. Peter Gibbons, the ultimate racer. Now, the only change left sides because it's a 300-lap race, obviously going to take 2 stops to make it through the night.
And they'll have to hustle because the field lineup are ready to go with restart number 6 here on lap 134. And the green flag waves once again.
Down into turn 1, Don Thompson back to the front. You know, he got track position throughout the pit stops, and he's back up front once more.
And with this last caution, Andrew Ranger received the tow truck in a box free pass. He's now sitting in 16th position. Struggles continue for the 2017.
Well, Billy Burns will be looking at that race car in the pit stops, trying to make some adjustments to get Andrew comfortable to get some spots back.
Hometown favorite John Gaunt hearing from his spotter as they're telling him just settle in, just put in some laps. Still a long way to go here in the Pizza 300, battling with the 02 of Kerry Mix, who slowly trudged his way back up through this field. And look, not even a mark on that BDI 02 Ford Fusion as Mix moves into 4th position now.
I called it when it happened to Kerry Mix when he went to back, when he spun out early. You watch, it'll be a great show watching that young man come back through the field. Kerry Mix cut his teeth on this racetrack and knows how to get around it as good as anybody.
Scott Steckley ducking underneath the 25 of Lapsevich. That's for 6th spot, but Jeff Lapsevich having a great run in that Tim Hortons Monte Carlo.
Well, this short track is so fast and so technical. Him being a really good road racer, which he's won lots of Trans Am races and other stuff in different types of cars, because it's easy in and hard off. You can't miss your apexes on the entrance, and you certainly need to hit your exit coming off. That's why he's always done well at this little racetrack.
And he'll be looking to get back down into that inside line. Caught up in the high line. Here's Brad Graham will go around in the full throttle energy drink Dodge Avenger. There is your leader, the number 4 Home Hardware Chevy of Don Thompson Jr. has led the majority of the laps so far here in the Pizza 300, but a new face running second and running pretty strongly is the 60 Ron Beauchamp Jr. as we hit the halfway mark. And we'll take a look at the Home Hardware midway update. That's 6 cautions that have slowed the field for 42 laps so far this evening. The fastest lap once again put in by Scott Steckley, but look at that time. 13.793. The track record is a 13.9 held by Don Thompson Jr. in qualifying.
And you're surprised how? Other than we're 150 laps into a short track event that we practice in the sun and race at night, the crew chief has got that car handling awesome.
And caution once again, this time for Peter Gibbons in corner number 4 as he grabs the gear and gets going. But Billy, we'll take another look at this one.
Boy, down into turn 3. Oh, you hear the RPMs come up. He got a little tap on corner entrance, and that just lightened the back end up, and around it went on him.
More pit stops. The leader, Thompson, is in, and so is the 60, Ron Beauchamp Jr.
What an improvement we've seen in the performance of this number 60 Mopar Parts Dodge team in the last couple of races. Right side tires and fuel. He'll be good to go the distance if he decides to stay out and only take the 2 tires for this event, guys. Don Thompson Jr., the Home Hardware Chevy, also making his first pit stop of the night.
And so is John Gaunt in the Centennial Dodge Avenger. He's down away. The 60 of Beauchamp almost collides with Gaunt on pit lane. There is your new leader, the O2 of Kerry Mix. We'll be back. Welcome back to the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series presented by Sirius Satellite Radio. We're at Barrie Speedway for round number 11 of 13. And the O2 BDI Ford Fusion of Kerry Mix leads the Pizza 300 as Sean Gibbs once again throws the green flag. It's restart number 7 here on lap 173.
Wow, you talk about some great racing. Look up front. The first 2 guys started the very back of the field. Well, Mixie didn't start there. He ended up there after a spin. But the 77 Lynch changed radiators, had to go to the back. And now, look, they're up front and running well.
And Peter Shepard received the tow truck in a box free pass that time around as John Gaunt with some loose bodywork on the Centennial Dodge Avenger. He just made his pit stop, and it looks like they may have to come back down pit road to get that taped up.
Well, I was trying to figure out where the contact come from because I seen him and Beauchamp were racing together. The right front's tore off Gaunt's car. Beauchamp's coming to pit road, allegedly with a flat left rear tire, so obviously the 12 and the 60 got together.
Yeah, the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. struggling to control that car. He'll head down pit lane and make a quick pit stop here. Todd standing by.
Green flag stop for Ron Beauchamp Jr. It's the left rear that is the problem. Little trouble missing the pit box on the way in. He'll go laps down, guys. A terrible break for this number 60 team who are having a great run.
Well, the racing gods always have a way of evening things out. You know, Ronnie's been struggling all year. He gets the car really hauling the mail the last couple of races. Bang, a flat tire.
The 77 of Derek Lynch starting to work on the O2 of Kerry Mix, and that flapping bodywork by the 12 of John Gaunt has caught the eye of NASCAR officials. So it looks like Gaunt being sent to pit lane after receiving the black flag. Todd?
Saw smoke coming earlier from the number 12 car of Johnny Gaunt, but you can see the body damage that the crew is repairing now under green, guys.
A very, very quick stop. So John Gaunt just goes down 1 lap as Sammy Putnam and the crew getting the job done very, very quickly.
Wow, the 22 of Scott Steckley. He's not points racing right now, folks. Did you see how aggressive he got down in the corner? And we've got a pair around backwards. Caution's out.
Caution's out once again. That's Jeff Lapsovich in the 25. Some debris down on the track. That looks like a brake duct as well. Joey McComb in the 49 also involved in the O2 of Kerry Mix comes down pit lane. Todd is there.
Right side tires and fuel for the 02 of Kerry Mix, and he'll be good to go the distance. Pete Gibbons, the Canadian Tire Chevy, getting a wedge adjustment to the left rear. Crew also removing that hood, so Pete will have improved visibility, fellas.
Well, not only the visibility, but that car will run a whole lot cooler as well and make some more power.
And there you see a young Morgan Robson, a fan who's here at Barrie Speedway every week in his brand new NASCAR Wheel and All-American Series jacket and hat. They're sending them down to the Daytona 500 in February, so a big thrill for a young race fan.
Well, almost every racetrack in North America has some young fellow who has aspirations to be a flagger. They're usually right behind the flag man, and this young fellow's doing a great job.
And Sean Gibbs actually gave him his old set of flags here this weekend. Morgan always had the little ones, but now he's got full size. This Whitlock, all kinds are crossways. Up in corner number 2, and here comes Derek Lynch down underneath them.
Well, we heard Derek Lynch say after Q, he was kind of like, I've called him the gentleman racer all year long, and you know what? He's tired of getting shoved around, so now we're starting to see a little aggression out of the 77.
But look who's looming right behind this battle for the lead, the 22 of Scott Steckley, just waiting to see what happens, or will he? He'll dive underneath the 39 of Dave Whitlock. They touch going into corner number 1.
Well, another guy showing aggression again is that 22 car. We've asked Scott several times, are you going to points race? And he just smiles that little grin at you. He says, no, I come to win.
Just over 100 laps to go here in the Pizza 300. Look at the big pack of cars. For 4th on back, you can see the 19 in there, Brad Graham, as we ride on board with the 4 of Don Thompson Jr.
Well, that's a great view out the front of the number 4 Home Hardware Chevrolet. Don Thompson hungry to get back to the front. He set the pole, he led a bunch early on, and he wants to get back to the podium.
J.R. Fitzpatrick just ahead of the 1 car. Peter Gibbons, the Canadian Tire Chevy Monte Carlo, chasing that 84.
What a great sound. This little short track, they turn upwards at 8,000 RPM, and they'll turn it that high because it's only there for a short period of time. And we got some racing for the front.
A little nudge to get the 77 loose from the 22 of Scott Steckley, but look at that car hooked down at corner number 2. Steckley putting together a run down the inside of corner 3. He's going to have to back off there, though, as Lynch slams the door. And caution once again for the 84. No caution. Just a spinning car in the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick will get going. And just ahead of the leaders is the 84 Fitzpatrick.
Let's go on board. We'll have a look. He's down into the corner behind Peter Gibbons. Turns it in. It just gets out from underneath him and around it goes.
And I thought there was going to be a caution, but he managed to get it going just in time. And now he's really got to get going. He's sitting in the 13th position, but ready to go lap down.
Whoa, the 77 not wanting to get... Oh, this was great action. The 77 was getting held up a little bit by the 84. He saw it coming, so he just moved him out of the way. The 84 stalled the motor, has drawn the caution.
And now the caution flag finally does fly for the 84 on J.R. Fitzpatrick. So we'll get the lineup sorted out. Derek Lynch is your leader here in Barrie. It's a packed house here at Barrie's. The Allied Steel Building Dodge of Derek Lynch leads the Pizza 300 lap 213 in the 11th round of the 2008 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series campaign here on TSN.
That's the spotter telling his guy to stay low. But look at that 22 car from the outside. Just drove it into one from the outside in. Hit the inside apex and drove away.
That's the first time all night anybody's been able to get a good bite off the high line on the restart. Scott Steckley does it. Who else really? As Steckley continues to dominate here in the 2008 season. Now leading here in the Pizza 300.
Whoa! Contact the 4 into the side of the 9. Dilly does a great job. Wow, Dilly looked like a late model dirt pilot there. Sideways, saved it up off the corner. What a job.
Don Thompson Jr. let him get it back. But now Mark Dilly going back to work on the rear of the 4 Home Hardware Chevy. Dilly wants to get back down to the inside line. Unfortunately, that line was plugged by the 19 of Brad Graham.
Well, it's like deja vu all over again. Like last week at Cuga, we seen somebody get punted up to the outside, and he just kept losing spot after spot after spot. And now Dilly's heading for the back.
On board DJ Kennington looking back to that battle for 6th position between the 1 of Peter Gibbons and the 9 of Mark Dilly. Look at them lean on each other all the way around this speedway.
Wow, short track racing at his best, but back up front it's the 22, tow truck in a box. Scott Steckley just driving away.
The 77 of Derek Lynch in second, and they have opened up quite a gap to the 39 car of Dave Whitlock, who is currently running third in the Dickies Dodge Avenger.
You can watch Derek Lynch. He drives it deep into the corner and catches him. And then look, watch this. The 22 just drives off the corner, taking all those lengths back.
And how about Dave Whitlock running third? Oh, we got trouble. But the 17 of DJ Kennington going around. Now caution comes out as Kennington unable to refire the Castrol Dodge.
Well, down into the corner, the 19, and oh! DJ just gets hooked up on the left rear of the 19 car, and around it goes.
So DJ Kennington, as we get another look from a different angle.
Wow, he was hard on the gas to keep that thing off the fence. Tough luck for DJ. He was down on the inside to take the spot. Wheel-to-wheel contact, and around he went.
The field all lined up for the restart once again here in the Pizza 300. Can Derek Lynch do it off the outside this time? Sean Gibbs with a green flag, and we're back underway.
Whoa, contact at 22, puts a door on it, moves him up, and there the 77 to the second spot.
I was just going to say, how about the run by Dave Whitlock so far here this evening? And Whitlock gets together with a 77 to Lynch, and over. Over goes Dave Whitlock on the front straightaway, a barrel roll as the caution flag flies. Now the red flag comes out as Dave Whitlock over on his roof.
That was our onboard camera still operating upside down. Now, I watched this unfold. The 77 gets back into the back of the 22. Everybody checks up. Witt goes up over the left side of the 77, and it just started tumbling. It looked like the rim anchored it into the asphalt and started it flipping over.
You can see him moving around in there, so that is some great news as a NASCAR official is down by the passenger side window attending to the driver of the Dickies Dodge Avenger, Dave Whitlock. So it looks like Whitlock is moving in there, which is great news. We'll take another look how this unfolded.
Here's the replay, just like I called it. The 77 into the 22 goes around. Whitlock's trying to get down to the bottom out of trouble. He ends up going over the left front tire. The car gets up on his side, hooks a rim. There, roof, up, over, down on the driver's side, back up, over again. This is a tough ride. Here we go. Oh, this is exciting ride. Dave Whitlock going for the ride of his life.
That's going to hurt. That one right there where that car came down very, very hard on the left rear. Look at J.R. Fitzpatrick up against the wall. He and DJ Kennington. Kennington was right up underneath the 84 of Fitzpatrick. And a whale of a job by the driver of the 84 to stay off that driver's door of the 39.
Wow, listen to that onboard camera. That thing just bang, bang on the roll cage. Here's one more look. Oh, J.R. Fitzpatrick hard the brakes. DJ in the backup. DJ tore the fender, the nose, the right side door, everything off that big green machine.
A very violent ride.
We're still there. Keep rolling, keep it pulling. Hang on. You're all right?
And really, what more do you say but hang on when the car is rolling down the front straightaway? And how about this? Dave Whitlock out and under his own power as he heads to the ambulance.
Well, Dave under his own power, but he's a big guy. You got to remember, in these race cars, very, very confined, and Big Dave had to crawl out through the window.
Oh, and he gets the worst of it as he jumps into the ambulance, hits his head. We're under red flag conditions. Scott Steckley is your leader. Welcome back to the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. We're glad to report that Dave Whitlock has been cleared by the medical team. He has checked out A-OK.
Well, he's a big lad. He's in great shape. It's good to hear that David is okay.
And all the safety equipment he wears, the hands device, all the harnesses, and all the safety that NASCAR enforces here in the Canadian Tire Series did its job as well.
You see all the oil drive flying down the front stretch as the boys went to green. That Ford, Don Thompson Jr. to the high side, trying to get the lead back off that 22 Dodge.
And a great run, the Home Hardware Chevy has down the front stretch. Steckley gets in too hard, and he gets into him. They touch up in corner number 1, and here comes McComb.
Joey McComb out of nowhere drives into the side of the number 4 Home Hardware Chevrolet.
Joey McComb was running in the 10th position, had absolutely nowhere to go. Don Thompson able to drive away from this one. Doesn't look like McComb will be as lucky as the wheel is off that number 49 trailers by Jim Ray of Venture. And so obviously the caution out once again.
Here's the replay down in the corner. Steckley in too hot. Too much rear brake. Comes around. He gets up into Donnie. Donnie goes around. The caution's trying to come out. Bang! The 49 out of nowhere drives into the side of Don Thompson Jr. We're on board with Donnie.
And here comes the worst part. That's where Joey McComb caught the right side passenger door, not the rear wheel, which is lucky for Thompson. As Kennington comes down pit lane, crew works on the right side. Thompson gets some service as well, and Todd standing by with the 39 Dickies team.
The Dave Whitlock 39 Dickies Dodge on the hauler. Joe LaPointe having a look at it. First off, how is Dave? And then tell us, how is the car?
Dave's fine, a little shaken up, bumped and bruised. The car, it needs a little bit of work, but we'll get her ready.
It may need more than a little bit of work, guys, if this car is going to race at Riverside in a couple of weeks. But best news is that Dave Whitlock, okay, all the safety equipment did its job.
Well, they'll be ready for sure. Joey works full-time in the shop. He's a very capable fabricator. And besides that, Dave Whitlock has a few more cars at his disposal.
We'll restart number 12. The action is picking up here in the latter stages of the Pizza 300. Look at the damage to the 22 of Scott Steckley after that contact with the number 4 of Don Thompson Jr. How about Gibbons on the outside, driving it in a ton?
Well, Peter Gibbons hard on the gas, chasing that number 22. He knows he's wounded. He wants to get after him.
Billy Smarks coming from the tow truck in a box number 22. What could be causing that?
Well, we got a fender brace on the right front. Oh, Peter Gibbons misses the apex as well, slides up the racetrack, and the 02 Kerry Mix was there to steal the spot.
So Mix up to second. How about John Gahn in the Centennial number 12? Gahn with that body damage to the nose as we've got 37 laps to go, and now Gahn ducks underneath the wall to Peter Gibbons.
Well, we got a bunch of our known suspects running up front. Don Thompson Jr. recovering from the spin. He's going around the outside of the 9, trying to get that spot. Oh, contact between the 4 and the 9.
Well, at this point, Don Thompson Jr. has to be driving angry. He wants to get back out to the front by far. Look, he's got to be up on the seat driving with those elbows out.
Wow, Donnie's just a fierce competitor. He'll be just chewing on that steering wheel trying to get back to the front.
Don't forget to vote for your favorite driver. Just log on to NASCAR.ca and follow all the directions as we ride on board with Mark Dilley.
Whoa, did he get a run up off the corner? He's up underneath the 19 and Graham side by side to turn 1.
Almost 3 wide going down the front straightaway as Dilley will pick off Graham going down into quarter number 1. Gibbons pulls back out in front of the 12 car of John Gahn as they battle nose to tail. Here comes the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick up on the outside.
Wow, these cars, they resemble a lot of short track racing here tonight, but man, this is great action.
Believe it or not, one car with very few marks on it is the 02 of Kerry Mix. He's been able to come back through the field and do it with a very, very clean race car. He's running second.
But up front in a bruised and battered car is Scott Steckley in the 22 car. This guy can do no wrong. There's his crew looking on. We'll be back with more after this.
Scott Steckley, the number 22 Dodge, has been carving up the field here in the Pizza 300.
Absolutely nobody been handling better than him tonight. The car's still beaten and bruised. We got fender braces hanging off it. Peter Gibbons going a lap down, and he was in contention for the win not that many laps ago.
Looks like Steckley trying for a job as a pizza delivery man at the front of the field. He is moving.
Well, he'd have a hot delivery, that's for sure.
John Gahn battling with the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. as Thompson moves around the outside of the 12, moving the 12 of Gahn back to 4th spot.
Well, the other Barrie hot shoe, we're on board with Mark Dilley. He's looking stout as well. He's in the top 5.
Now under 10 laps to go here in the Pizza 300. That man is your leader, Scott Steckley, but look who's right behind him now. The 02 VDI Ford Fusion of Kerry Mix.
Kerry Mix, that car, not a mark on it. He's come from the back once. He's stayed out of trouble. The thing's clean and mean, and he's going to go to the front.
Mark Dilley hounding the 12 of John Gahn as this battle well behind your leaders. Don Thompson Jr. has been able to break away as we ride on board with DJ Kennington. 6th spot. Now caution out. Caution. Flag flies here with just a handful of laps remaining in the Pizza 300. Debris on the raceway.
Well, imagine that. We got a bunch of race cars look like they've been racing in a blender tonight. It's been a great show, but we got pieces everywhere.
So the 22 of Scott Steckley is your leader. The Whelen Engineering Safety Team coming out to clean up the debris on the raceway. And this will set up a green-white checkered finish as you take a look at the Mopar Fast 5. Nobody faster than Scott Steckley so far this evening. He is in the first position. John Gahn, Mark Dilley, Kennington all having strong runs.
Side-by-side restart. We got a Mopar on the inside and that fast 4 to Kerry Mix on the outside, up through the gearbox. Watch this restart.
A green-white checkered and Steckley charges into corner number 1. Kerry Mix up on the outside will lose a little bit of ground. Steckley in first place down the back straightaway, and Mix gets down in front of the 4 car.
Wow, Kerry Mix put the door right on Don Thompson Jr. down the backstretch to make sure he got his spot. Under the white flag there, nose to tail. Don Thompson in 3rd, Mark Dilley, he's battling for 4th with the 12.
2 local heroes battling side by side, but Scott Steckley, your points leader, will lead him off of corner number 4. He'll take his 4th win of the season ahead of the 02 of Kerry Mix and Don Thompson Jr.
Wow, what a race. Scott Steckley, not points race. racing. He was going for the win.
And the 22 of Scott Steckley captures tonight's Dodge winning moment with the win here in the Pizza 300. We'll be back in victory lane. Welcome back to the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. Todd Lewis is standing by in victory lane with tonight's winner.
He started the season off with 3 consecutive victories, and Scott Steckley has just turned in his 4th win of the season here at Barrie Speedway. Waving that checkered flag and accepting the congratulations from the crowd. Scott, what a run you had out there, churning out fast laps. Are you racing for points or for wins here as we go down the stretch? And what happened with the 4-car a little while ago?
Well, we definitely came here to race for the win. We got to win. We can't be conservative. We got to come out for the win. My crew did an awesome job. This car was just great. The 4-car down here, I screwed up. I got in too hard. I hate it for Donnie. I got to apologize to him. But the car was awesome. It's just hard, tight racing here. And the car was great. I got to thank Tow Truck in the Box, Herb Group, all my sponsors. We had a few new ones on board this weekend. Wilcan Power Surges and Royal Distributing. So I just got to thank everybody.
Scott Steckley had a rocket here at Barrie. Rockets him to his 4th win of the season.
Oh, the veteran Kerry Mix coming over to congratulate Scott Steckley on a very potent victory.
And we'll take a look at the rest of the top 10. Couple local favorites. John Conn, Mark Dilley rounding out the top 5. Pete Shepard coming home inside the top 10. And Todd standing by with your 3rd place finisher.
Don Thompson Jr. comes up with a podium finish, but I know you feel that you had a better car than your finish.
Yeah, for sure. The second set of tires, the car was really good. Home Hardware Chevy was pretty quick after that, but, got up to the front and got spun around and got spun around a couple times tonight. I guess that's how it goes, but proud of all my guys. Good job for them, and we'll go get them next week.
Real tribute to this team to battle back and score a podium finish, fellas.
And that podium finish has moved Don Thompson Jr. up to 2nd in the Castrol points chase, but still 123 points behind Scott Steckley, who continues to dominate this season. Andrew Ranger drops down into 3rd, but again, just 3 points back, and look, 1 point separating DJ Kennington with Ranger.
And that's Patrick from Pizza handing out the hardware.
Big smile on Kerry Mix's face after a hard night's work. The Pizza 300 has been brought to you by Castrol Syntec, unlock the power. By Mopar, authentic performance. And by Duplicolor, the premium brand leader in automotive paints, primers, and coatings.
Well, there's our top 3 tonight. There's Scott Steckley, our points leader. 2nd the points, Don Thompson Jr. and Mixie giving him the champagne bath.
The next stop on the tour from the high banks of Riverside. We'll see you there.